Greg, his first question is, what do you think of the squad heading to Saturday, and what do you make of Vancouver?
I'm happy about where we're at with our team. I think from a fitness and health standpoint, we're in a good place. In terms of what we've accomplished over the preseason has been good. So we're excited. We're excited to head that way and get the season started. We've got a lot of guys who are anxious to get going. So myself included in that. In terms of Vancouver, I think they're a team that hasn't made a bunch of changes over the course of this last off season. So I suspect that they'll be very similar, very mobile, very quick players who pop in and out of gaps. Obviously, with Vanney, he can get in behind, he can take people on. But I think, and I don't think their identity will change too much from where they were last year. I think they're a good team.
How much is this CBA talk the week leading up to the game? Do you notice it being a distraction to any of your players? Are they,
No, the guys have been good. I know there's a lot on their minds, but they've been good and remain focused and optimistic that we're going to be on a plane tomorrow and playing.
What does it do for your preparation when you lose Caldwell and your keeper, leading up to the opening game of the season that deals with something like this?
I mean, it's not the ideal scenario, but it is what it is. We continue to prepare the team. Luckily, there are two guys who are veteran guys who've been around the team for a while, and they'll integrate back in when they join us.
You've spoken a lot about combinations and between your players, between your leaders on the field. Have you noticed what you were looking for? Have they met your expectations in terms of combinations in preseason?
Yeah, they've done very well. Obviously, the addition of some of the veteran guys, Giroux, Perky, those guys. The relationships are continuing to develop every single day, but they're intelligent players. They're working within the system that we've employed for them, and within that, they find their ways to do some of the things that they do on a special level. But they've done a great job and they have so much respect for each other that they recognize if one guy is pushing into the attack, the other guy is covering, and vice versa. They understand their roles, but they can also improvise well because they have a high level of intelligence out on the field. So we're very happy with the group.
What's been your impression of the combination between Altidore and Bradley, who come into this team having known each other for a very long time?
It's great, both on the field and off the field. On the training grounds, they push each other and they push everybody else. And we have some other guys that are in that equation as well that are continuing to raise the level of training every single day. But obviously, they have a unique relationship and having known each other for a long time, and that's for us. That's always a positive. They look for moments to connect with each other, but that's always a good thing. And so it's just one less sort of unknown that you have when you have two guys who have that kind of relationship on and off the field.
When Michael Bradley was appointed the captain, one of the things that you guys had said was that you thought he was ready to embrace and take on the mantle, I guess, the pressures that come with it. Have you seen that from him? How has he responded to the captain's band?
Yeah, he's responded very well. One thing you get from Michael every single day is a full day's work. He pushes himself, he pushes others, he brings everybody along with him. He helps to set the standard for us in terms of training, and everybody is at that level and meeting it, and I think that's critical. I think he's also having good conversations with guys kind of in and around the field and the complex and off on his own, which I think a good leader does, and he pushes the group emotionally and from a competitive standpoint. So I think he's done a great job, and he'll continue to be that guy for us.
One season on now, from I guess the foot injury that we didn't really know much about, have you seen Michael improve at all physically after the surgery, or was that something that bothered him now, looking back?
I definitely think it bothered him more than he let on. I think he's a warrior, so he's going to fight through anything and get himself out there and give you everything he has. But clearly, I think now that we see him in a healthy state and just the way he is performing, training, playing, everything. Last year, you kind of knew it was there, though he maybe didn't let on to everybody. But now you can see he's clear in his mind. He feels a little bit freer. He doesn't have maybe some of that irritation or pain that he had before, and it definitely is. It's good for us, and I know it's a weight off of his shoulders as well.
Of all the players in your roster, he seems to have the most intensity, or the most, I guess, or at least he portrays the most intensity. But at the end of 2014, was he let down, or did that just make him hungrier for this season? What has been your impression of him?
Yeah, I think he's hungrier. I think he's a guy who is incredible in terms of his intensity. You see it in his work rate. He's relentless. I think we have other guys around him now who are of similar intensity and of similar relentlessness, all of whom are really excited to get started. So it takes more than Michael to drive the team. It takes a team, and it takes multiple guys, and I think that's what we're seeing this year. And in terms of, again, our standards of training are high every day, and the guys are working hard. They're pushing harder than I saw them push at the end of last year, and so we're very happy with that, and obviously Michael's one of the driving forces in that for sure.
You're going on a pretty unprecedented road trip to start the season. I think it's 7 games. What would you consider a success coming back to BMO Field?
I haven't really looked at it and said we want to come away with 12 points, 10 points. I haven't looked at it as that. We've really honestly approached every game as that we want to and need to take something away from the game. Our goal is obviously to go to Vancouver and to set ourselves up for the opportunity to win the game, to look to play in our vision of the game, and see if we can't improve as a group and be in position to take points, whether that's 3 points in the end or that's 1 point. We feel like every game is something where we need to establish this this mentality that we're taking points in every possible circumstance. This league can give you kind of that false sense that towards the end of the league is when it really matters, but really it's the points at the beginning of the league that really set you up and put you on the right way, in my opinion. So.
Well, the personnel has changed from last year. It's a very similar situation where last year they went into Seattle, a very hostile environment. It's going to be the same in Vancouver. Does that help at all with having some of the same guys back for this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think just the group that we have has a year more experience than they did last year. We've added some veteran players who've played in some big environments, so that will also help. I know the group by and large is just really excited to get going. So they'll come with a lot of energy. I have no doubt that the energy will be there. So as long as our mentality and we play within sort of the discipline of how we want to play and guys do what they're capable of doing, then I think it should be an exciting night for everybody and just to get the league kicked off as well.